Welcome back to Global Discovery. Today, we're diving into something subtle, something quiet, but possibly massive. No official announcements, no flashy headlines, just patterns, timing, and movements that don't feel random. In this channel, we don't chase noise, we analyze signals. And what's happening between SB19 and Bruno Mars right now? It deserves a closer look. So stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more this story starts to make sense. Something unusual happens, and almost no one noticed. There was no teaser, no press release, no dramatic buildup. Just a few subtle posts shared quietly by exactly the people you wouldn't expect. When Pablo, the leader of SB19, and their longtime vocal coach Bruno posted content connected to Bruno Mars's upcoming album, fans initially brushed it off as harmless and routine. But then the timing began to align. The connections became clearer, and the silence started to feel intentional. Because when global artists prepare something major, they rarely announce it loudly. Sometimes they signal it softly. And suddenly, one question began circulating everywhere. Is SB19 about to make history with Bruno Mars? Before we break this down, make sure to like this video, share it with a fellow Aten, and subscribe, because this story only gets deeper from here. This didn't begin with fan edits or viral speculation. It started with observation. The first people who noticed weren't chasing clout. They were watching movement. Pablo, SB19's creative architect and main producer, and Bruno, the vocal coach present during their most crucial recording sessions, both acknowledged Bruno Mars' upcoming project quietly, without explanation, and within the same time frame. On their own, those posts mean nothing. Together, they make you pause. These aren't casual listeners reposting trends. They are professionals operating within studio schedules, release strategies, and creative timelines. In music, timing isn't random, it's communication. That's when fans stopped reacting emotionally and began analyzing strategically. What made the moment powerful wasn't just the repost, it was the pattern. Pablo rarely amplifies hype, and when he shares something, it usually connects to what he's building or preparing behind the scenes. Bruno follows the same rhythm, especially during active recording periods, when his focus narrows to vocal direction and sound development. So when both highlighted the same global artist, while SB19 is actively creating new music, curiosity naturally deepened. In creative industries, admiration is private, acknowledgement is intentional, and sometimes the safest way to say something is happening is to say nothing at all and let the repost speak for itself. The rumor carries weight for a deeper reason. Bruno Mars isn't just a global superstar, he is Filipino by blood. His mother was Filipino, and throughout his career he has embraced that heritage not as marketing, but as identity. When he performs in the Philippines, it feels less like a tour stop and more like a homecoming. That context changes everything. SB19 isn't simply chasing international validation. They represent modern Filipino artistry. Self-produced, self-built, proudly local, yet globally fluent. A connection between them wouldn't feel random. It would feel symbolic, like a bridge between generations, between heritage and evolution, between where Filipino music began and where it's heading next. Then came the statement fans couldn't ignore. In an interview, Stell said plainly that they are working on new music and that it involves a collaboration with an international artist. There was no name, no dramatic reveal, and somehow that made it louder. SB19 doesn't tease recklessly or test reactions. They speak when something is already in motion. The timing was impossible to overlook, as the comments surfaced just as discussions around Bruno Mars's new album were growing, right after those quiet reposts from inside SB19's creative circle. At that point, speculation stopped feeling like imagination and started feeling like confirmation that something global was moving, even if it remained unnamed. This is where mature analysis matters. Collaboration doesn't always mean a duet or shared verses on a chorus. In modern music, it can mean songwriting sessions, production guidance, arrangement design, vocal layering, or creative direction. Bruno Mars is known for working within tight creative circles, often shaping records long before his voice ever touches the final track. That opens multiple possibilities. SB19 could contribute melodic ideas, harmonies, songwriting perspective, or participate in sessions through industry networks. Behind-the-scenes collaborations often matter more than public ones, because trust is built first and visibility follows later. While fans focus on artists, real movement happens in management rooms and creative networks. One Z Entertainment has been expanding globally, not through noise, but through structure. International songwriting camps, cross-border producer connections, and strategic partnerships beyond Southeast Asia. That's how serious collaborations begin. Not through social media messages, but through aligned teams and shared studios. Pablo isn't just a performer. He's a songwriter, producer, and musical architect who understands both pop precision and emotional storytelling. That makes him valuable in rooms where exists. Pablo, a rumor like this would have sounded impossible. Today, it sounds earned. SB19 no longer simply performs music. They build it. They write their own materials, shape their sound, and operate beyond idle limitations. They're not waiting to be chosen. They're offering value. And that's when global doors begin to open. If something this major is happening, the obvious question is why the silence? Global collaborations move legally through NDAs, layered contracts, label approvals, and release schedules protected months or even years in advance. One careless confirmation can collapse an entire project. In the music industry, silence doesn't signal absence. It signals protection. SB19 hasn't confirmed anything, but they also haven't denied anything. That middle ground feels deliberate because real projects don't live in headlines. They develop quietly until reveal day. If SB19 and Bruno Mars truly connect in any form, it wouldn't just be a collaboration, it would be a turning point, not only for SB19, but for Filipino representation in global pop. For decades, Filipino talent has powered the industry behind the scenes as singers, producers, and vocal coaches, often celebrated privately, rarely centered publicly. A moment like this would shift that narrative from influence to recognition, from heritage to headline. So is it happening? There's no official confirmation, no announcement, and no name attached. But the timing aligns. The people involved matter. The statements exist. The cultural connection is undeniable. And the silence feels deliberate. Coincidences happen. but they rarely stack this precisely. Whether this becomes a full collaboration or a behind-the-scenes partnership, something meaningful appears to be forming beneath the surface. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but something is moving. And when it finally emerges, Kumpel may look back at these quiet signals and realize they were never random at all. And that's where we stand. No confirmation, no official statement, just timing, signals, and silence that feels far too deliberate to ignore. Here on Global Discovery, we don't jump to conclusion. We connect the dots, and whether this turns into a full collaboration, a behind-the-scenes partnership, or something entirely unexpected, one thing is clear. Something is moving beneath the surface. If this moment becomes real, it won't just be about two artists. It will be about representation, evolution, and Filipino artistry stepping into a bigger global conversation. For now, we watch, we wait, and we observe carefully. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think, and subscribe to Global Discovery for more deep dives. Story, stay curious.